Am I audible now, guys? Can you just confirm? Can somebody confirm if I'm audible? Oh, yes. Great. All right. So let's start. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. So quickly, we have good number of people. Sachin Chauhan, you're saying not. Sir, could you please check your speaker because everybody is able to listen to me? So now what I'm noticing is that out of people who are live, we have close to 48% people who are already working in supply chain or operations. That's a good thing. So 50% from the supply chain operations domain, 28% people are student, okay, and 20 almost similar percent people are working in the different domains. So that's a good combination. So we have at least half of the people who are from the supply chain, and yes, there are students as well. So that shows a good amount of interest students with among students who are keen in the operations and supply chain. It's a very good domain to really work in, and I'm really happy that there are people who are considering to come into this domain. So that's a good sign. I'll just give you the agenda of this particular session, though it was not planned earlier, but I kept on getting a lot of queries related to the course content, the type of content, and there were a few other queries and all. So I thought let's do a introductory session so that I can help all of you with all the queries which you have. Okay. So what I will do, the agenda, I'll take it first. I will take you through the course structure, which is very simple. It's not a complicated course structure. It'll take 5 minutes. Basis that I will take your questions, and that could be related to the content, that could be related to the course, that could be related to the duration, that could be related to the career opportunities. Okay. So I'll take it one by one. So first, let me start with this introduction, and before that, I'll give my introduction as well. So I'm Nishant Manchanda. I have been working in the industry for almost 20 years now. I started my career back in 2003, and first 10 years of my career has been around business process automation, IT consulting. Primarily, I worked in the CRM space, data management space, wherein I help companies in automating their sales force, the customer interaction, basically support systems, and the data behind it. Okay. Then I got into the business side, wherein I was a business operator. I had my own business. I was to fashion domain. I were managing two factories, and wherein we were it were contract manufacturing setups we had, wherein we were manufacturing our artificial jewelry, and we were having in-house design setup, wherein we were developing the products, and then we were selling onto different channels like Amazon. We were one of the top sellers. We had three products in the jewelry category in the top 10, and then we had an offline distribution channel as well, and we used to do a lot of exhibitions also, which is again a model of a direct D2C model. And we didn't have our own website because back in 2014 when we started, website definitely was a good source of revenue, but by then we had good amount of business coming from Amazon. We decided in the e-commerce space we will stick to Amazon, and apart from that we were into wholesale distribution as well as into direct selling through exhibitions and stalls. I'll tell you why I was more keen into the offline store stalls and everything. And along with that, we had some 15 odd franchisee stores whom we used to supply our products, and they used to sell under our brand name. Okay. So that was a setup, and that ran for good 4 5 years. After that, I started another business of pharmaceutical products distribution. It was primarily focused on pet products, and so we were dealing in pet treats, pet nutraceuticals, and then we added medicines as well, vaccines as well. And again, we were with Amazon, and one of the top sellers in the pet category. We had few products who are into which in the top 10 or 15 ranking. We were doing good business over there, and we had a network of around 16, 17 warehouses with Amazon across India. Our own warehouse was Amazon Flex warehouse, and which was set up as per the guidelines given by the Amazon. We were using all the technology by Amazon. We had the system being driven by Amazon primarily, and at the same time we were doing offline distribution for pet food and medicine across Delhi NCR area. So I'm based out of Gurgaon. Okay, so if a lot of people, I'm sure, Gurgaon is one of the metros, so people must be knowing about it. If nobody knows, it's a part of Delhi NCR region in the North India. If somebody from outside India is joining and they are not aware about the geography of India, so India is so I'm in the north part of India. That's next to the capital city, Delhi, and so we were primarily in the offline distribution in the Delhi NCR area, and somewhat of rural marketing, rural market as well. I had for the medicines and vaccines. So this we ran for good 5, 6 years, and now I am associated with a tire company by the name called Zefco, and I handle their operations and supply chain and customer support division for our D2C brand for the US market. Okay, so one information which I want to make sure I want to give very clearly to all of you. One, it's a free sessions. I'm not charging anything. The purpose of this is very clear. I have understood in the last 12 years of being into operations and supply chain that this is a very vast area, and learning each and everything is next to impossible. I can't get exposure to all the domains. I can't get exposure to all the processes. I can't get exposure to all the challenges. Okay, and the reason of really building it is one, to learn, because when I'll be working with you guys, when I'll be sharing my knowledge with you, you'll also be sharing your knowledge with me, and I would also be getting to hear about your experience, your challenges, so that will expand my knowledge as well. So that's the reason this particular sessions I have introduced. Definitely before that, I tried building an offline community. Yes, a lot of network I have built around supply chain and operations. That is exhausted in terms of the knowledge which I could gain. So I have an understanding through the people who are into beverage industry, the alcohol beverage industry. Then I know people who are into apparel industry, and so different segments I have understood. But I think now it's time for me to expand my horizon, expand my situations in terms of understanding what has been happening in the different sort of world. Okay, but one particular point I want to mention over here, that I would refrain from sharing any information related to my current company, because this is not my setup. Okay, I'm an employee there. Uh, Definitely, what I can share is the reason I cannot share, because it's a proprietary information. Okay, so I would refrain from using examples from the current setup, but the two setups which I have worked in, they are my own setups, so I can definitely share the experience, that the information I have. Now the companies are no longer in operations, they are shut down, so I can share as much as possible. Definitely there are a few trade secrets which I would refrain from sharing, and I also want all of you to refrain from sharing any of the confidential information about your company where you're working right now or you have worked in the past. So avoid that confidential information, and let's maintain this healthy platform for learning and sharing the knowledge with each other. So that's one. Now, the reason of community. The one of the major things which I have been following is helping my network to get exposure opportunities coming across in India. If you guys follow me on LinkedIn, then you will definitely observe I keep on sharing a lot of openings with my network. And if you guys are not following me yet on LinkedIn, I'm sharing my LinkedIn profile link. You might go there and follow me. I may not be able to accept your connect invite. Reason for that, I'm already out of the limit of 30,000. Right, so I cannot be able to accept your invite, but you may follow me, and definitely as we are a part of this community, we'll do the communication via these live sessions. I have been getting a lot of WhatsApp messages, probably more than 200 I've got in the last 1 week, Please understand the reason I'm not able to reply is because there are a lot of messages are coming. Okay, and I'm working. Okay, so this is something which I'm just following on a weekend, as I'm going to be sharing these sessions 12 to 2 with all of you. Okay, so we are clear on that. One, we'll maintain the confidentiality of the places, workplace where we are working right now, as well as the previous places where we have worked. Do not share any confidential information or any information which you may feel it's not confidential, but try to avoid as much as you can. Keep very generic, publicly available information. Second is, for this community, I would be sharing a lot of info on a regular basis, and definitely the live sessions. A lot of people ask me the questions whether I would be uploading these videos on my YouTube channel. No, sir. These are only for the live sessions. YouTube videos are separate. You may follow me or you may not follow me. It's going to be your choice. I do post content related to business. I do post content related to the opportunities. Now I'm going to start because as I've been posting on LinkedIn, a lot of queries came in. Few people have got a job, and I'm very happy. And the reason I'm doing this because in the past I have been helped by a lot of other people as well. So it's the way of giving community back what I have got from my community, so I'm giving it back. Okay. And somebody asked me, is there any charge for these live courses? No, sir. It's all free. I'm sharing my knowledge. I'm learning from you. I'm giving from you. Okay. There's no anything else. Nothing. I don't have anything else to really put it forward. Now let's jump quickly on to the course details, and then we'll jump onto the Q&A. Okay. 1 second, guys. Yes. So now, before okay, I've already shown on this screen. So supply chain course structure, I'm gonna be following what CSCP follows. CSCP is Certified Supply Chain Professional. It's one of the certificates being recognized globally, managed by a society called ASCM, Association of Supply Chain Management, I believe. Okay, and it's globally recognized. The structure which is followed by this particular course is it's pretty simply defined, and it's easy to understand. Okay, and it's a step by step. Total modules 8. Total sections are 4. Okay, how it is divided? First is basic of supply chain. Second is internal management, internal control. Third is outside control. Fifth is strategic growth. Simple. To define it, first you understand what all different segments, different things, how they are done, how the reporting is taken care of. And then the second is internal again, how you're going to bring in the products, how you're going to manage the inventory, what are the reportings which are required, what are technologies which you need to have in the system, in the organization to manage your entire supply chain. So that is the readiness and the preparation, the first two part. Third part is now you move out, the procurement, the suppliers, the logistic, how you're gonna bring in the product, how you're gonna send the product. So these are outside parties. So this is external things to be managed. And the last is once everything is done. So supply chain is nothing but bringing products and sending products. That's it. Everything in between is managed. A lot of things are required to be managed. I'll take it one by one. And the last step is strategic. How you're gonna grow this? How strategically supply chain management helps organization achieve its business goal. Okay. So giving you an understanding a bit, supply chain is the backbone of any product company, any service company. Okay. How this something we'll discuss in the first session, but supply chain is a backbone, so it has to be strategically and optimally managed. Otherwise it takes away the entire profit of the organization, and it takes away the uh, the uniqueness of the organization. It takes away the strong capability of the organization to deliver the product or services in the globally competitive market. It's highly competitive market nowadays. Okay, so the section one, as I mentioned, it would be the basic understanding and readiness. It will cover about the basic on supply chain, demand management, and forecasting, and then global supply chain networks, which includes your internal in data management and internal systems and how you're going to manage everything. The second is internal readiness and management, the sourcing of the product and the servicing, and internal operations and inventory. Then the outside world. The outside world is going to be about forward and reverse logistics. Okay. And the supply chain relationship. There are a lot of players between the entire supply chain. So how you're going to manage the relationship, how you're going to bring in the benefit to the organization with the partnership. Then the section 4 is about strategic direction, how you're going to manage the supply chain risk and how you're going to optimize of the supply chain along with the technology advancement which is happening. So on this particular supply chain risk part, I want to put a point. I'm sure most of you must have heard about Mr. Sheikh. If you're not able to hear me, you need to check your speakers because everybody else has confirmed that I'm audible properly. Okay, could you please check your speaker? Now, coming on to the supply chain risk, I'm sure almost everybody is aware of the war happening between America and Iran and Iraq. The Strait of Hormuz is shut or running with a very low capacity. The war situation which has been there since what 28th August, I believe. Sorry, February, I believe. And it's been almost 8 months now. The situation is little troublesome. On top of it, there have been tariff situation which is going on from the US side for the last 1.5 years. That has also created a lot of challenges in terms of the overall procurement of the product, the shipment and logistic part as well. It has getting disturbed, and that is causing a problem to the entire supply chain where companies are working globally. What I've understood in my entire last 10, 12 years of being into operations supply chain is that you cannot, in the current global scenario, you cannot have any 100% domestically sourced product. Something or the other you might get from outside your country. For pharmaceutical, if you talk about, we are heavily dependent on China right now. So there's a one component called API, the active pharmaceutical ingredient, which is required to produce medicines. It comes from China right now. Okay. Fashion, if you talk about the jewelry segment specifically, almost 30% of fashion jewelry is being manufactured in China, which comes to India. And that's not something which is international designs and all. No, they are purely Indian style designs which are being manufactured in China, and suppliers are getting from China and then selling it in India at a rate which is far, far, far cheaper than producing it in India itself. Okay. Jaipur, Meerut, Mumbai, Kolkata, these are the major hubs for manufacturing in fashion jewelry. There are a few more in South as well. I'm not 100% sure about the regions, but these are the regions where I have worked primarily, and I know that there are a lot of manufacturing hubs, but they are getting a stiff competition from China. So in any domain, I'm just repeating this once again, in any domain, you really can't have, if it is very small product you are producing, you might be able to source from the domestic market, but majority of industries are dependent on some or other country to get their product, the raw material into the country, and then finish their products and then start selling into the market. Okay, there are a lot of export oriented industries being set up in India. There are a lot of industries which are importing a lot of raw material. Pharmaceutical, I gave you an example. So supply chain risk is one of the most important jobs of a senior supply chain professional. At this moment, I'm into that role. I need to manage the entire risk. If something is getting delayed, I need to ensure how I'm going to get the alternate supply. sharing an example of a pharmaceutical business. I had for one particular medicine or one particular brand under which we had 4, 5 top selling medicines, I always had an order placed with multiple suppliers, 2 to 3 suppliers, and I had 4, 5 suppliers as a backup. So strategically and purposefully, I used to place an order on alternate basis to my different vendors so that I can continue building a relationship. I can continue having a transactions once a month or once every 2 months, or max to max once a quarter, so that the account is active, I'm active with them, the relationship is active, the prices are active, still lower. Rather than giving it to one supplier, I was managing my risk in that way. If one supplier one fine day says, sir, I cannot supply you at this price, I have other supplier who can supply me at that particular price, the lower price. Because if I lose my price advantage, I lose my sale, I lose my profit. So I had that entire scenario. Then the alternate suppliers for which the they might give me a expensive product, they might charge me some few percent extra, but at least they will ensure that I have product in my warehouse so that my continuity of sale is not hampered. I'm continuing selling and serving my customer. My customer is sticking with me, not moving to some other supplier. You're getting my point. So if I'm giving you a medicine and I'm not able to source it on time, source it at the right price, I cannot offer you at that same profit and the same competitive price on a regular basis. And then you definitely will go to some other. Okay, I'll give you one real time example. I'm buying a car now. Okay, I booked the car today morning. So yesterday we went to a car dealer. I'll try to refrain from sharing the brand name and the car. Okay, so I went to a car dealer asking for a best deal. They gave me a best deal. I went to the other dealer. Everybody does this. A right buyer is the one who actually finds a good deal at a good price. Okay. I went to the other dealer. I gave them the information. Okay, this is the offer I'm getting. Can you give me a better offer? He took 4 hours. He said, sir, tomorrow morning I'll confirm you if I can give you a better deal or not. Morning 10 or 5 or 10 or 10, he sent a message to me saying, sir, I'm giving you a better deal. Okay. I got at least 3% extra discount. Cars are in lakhs. 3% discount is a huge discount. Second thing, he was giving me some extra accessories, which is again an add-on discount. That was hardly 0.2 or 0.3%. Okay. Then he committed, sir, you stay at home, I'll deliver the car to your place. I said, no, I'm going to come. I want to have that fun of buying a car, taking a car back to my home, drive back home, a new car. I said, I'll be coming to your place. And then he said, sir, okay, fine. You're so generous. You have been very good. I actually transferred the booking amount then and there. I haven't met that guy. See the situation, because I know the product is common. It's the same brand car. It's just a different dealer. Okay. There's no scenario that I would be getting a bad car or some other product, because it's a common product of the same brand. I have not met him. I may not actually be meeting him in person because this is a very senior guy. I may be meeting only a junior person. Now he knows that the company I work for, we have hundreds of employees. What he is looking at now? Okay, now he is looking at more deals from me. So he's building a relationship. Now, so it's a sales, seller, and buyer relationship. But now you look at a because I'm also trying to build a relationship. I may require another car in next 2 years or 3 years because I'm going to upgrade the car. I keep upgrading. So I'm also building a relationship because I'm a buyer now, right? So this is an example of how you build a relationship. There's no rocket science behind it. And trust me, when you are working in a supply chain, first thing you need to be good at is a good person, building a good relationship. If you're bad at maintaining relationship, if you're a very introvert person, supply chain may not give you all those opportunities, because certain roles are very much office oriented, desktop oriented, but there are roles which are relationship oriented. Supply chain is about dealing with different set of people from buyer side and from the seller side. Everybody. Buyer is your buyer, seller is your seller, means who's selling to you. So as a supply chain, you need to have relationship on both the sides, not just a logistic. A basic question which I keep on getting is, sir, supply chain is logistic. No, sir. Logistic is one of the major parts, but there are other parts under the supply chain, and every part is equally important. Okay, guys. So definitely we'll talk in depth in the coming session. So this is how the structure is now: 4 sections, 8 modules: preparation, internal readiness, then external, and then strategic part. That's it. I'm keeping it very simple. Okay, and now the duration we'll do every Saturday and Sunday, probably same 12 to 2. If any change happens, any plan in change in plan, because I do plan some of the personal travels as well, and the festive season is coming up, so I might be traveling. If there is a situation that I cannot take a session, I'll definitely let all of you in the community group a day in advance. Okay, so that's it. I believe now we are open for Q&A. Any questions, whatever questions you have, throw me. One thing which I want to tell you, don't think it's a dumb question. Students, working professional in this domain or some other domain, ask anything about the career move, about the possible way to change, challenges, course material, anything. Now, before everybody says, I'm not gonna be uploading this on my YouTube channel as a permanent video, because these are purely for the live sessions. This is not a video format structure. So if you miss, that's gonna be another question which I have been getting. If you miss, don't worry. I'm planning to run these sessions on a regular basis. So I'm targeting to have this session, this particular training, to be covered between 6 weeks to 8 weeks. If we are able to do it in 4 weeks, I'm more than happy. But I'll try to keep it 6 weeks at least, so that I can spend more time on examples. Okay. So 12 to 2 is the time which I believe would be ideal time. But if uh, there are questions from the audience, then I may extend it to 12 to 3 as well. So it's going to be 2 to 3 hours session, depending upon how it moves. Okay. Now I'm jumping onto the questions one by one. I'll be addressing. If I miss out, then you rewrite the question. So first question, Satyendra Yadav 2354. There is any age criteria, sir? No, sir. Learning का कोई age criteria नहीं है. Doesn't matter. If you are 50, if you are 60, if you are 70, if you are 80, if you are 10, learning is open to everybody. Vaibhav Pawar 6495. Can we change domain in SCM after 10 years of experience in other domains? Sir, मैंने किया है. I have done this. I was into IT, I was into consulting, I was into CRM, I was into sales. I moved to business operations. I moved to supply chain. I did everything. Though people might say that you started your own business. Yes, I started my own business. Okay, but I never knew that I would actually be doing in-depth, strong supply chain management. I did. Now I'm into this job. Okay. But at the same time, it's possible. If you have learning, if you have curve, if you have willingness, if you have built your profile, if you build your knowledge, you may have to cut down on your salary. Definitely you have to cut down on salary, because if somebody, now I have 20 years of experience, but when I simply, last year I was looking for a job after winding up my business, everybody says, sir, we can't take your 20 years experience, we can take only 10 or 12 years of experience, because that's the time you're spent in supply chain and operations. I said, fine. I took a cut. Fair enough. Possible is there. If you're really willing to build a career in supply chain and operations, there's a possibility, because there's always a need of a very data driven and relationship driven people. Okay. Oh, questions. Now, will you take sir? I'm apologizing in advance if I'm mispronouncing your name, because these are more of handles. So I'm still trying to do my level best. So Sheikh, I'm not able to pronounce the last name, but there's a 3789. Your question is, will you take any hands-on project in this session? Well, I've not planned, but definitely we can plan. That's a good point. We can plan. Sir, our APICS course is worth it. Sir, you want a real answer? Knowledge is what gonna matters. Okay. If you do APICS or whatever the if you do ASCM, if you do XYZ, or if you don't do. Sir, I haven't done any certification yet, right? I'm not certified in supply chain any by anybody at this moment. Okay. Though I'm preparing for my CSCP as well. Okay. Because I feel let's do it. Okay. Because there's always something which you learn when you read again. Okay. When you read a book, the second time or the third time, the fourth time, there's something new which you learn. So I thought to do as well, but not in the recent, or not in the near future. Probably a year later I'll do. But yes, knowledge is what people are gonna be asking you. That's what gonna make you do your job better. Certifications not. Okay. Next question is from Utkarsh Singh, version 3972. I'm currently working in the last mile supply and I have 2 years of experience in that only. Okay. But I want to switch and move in procurement or inventory. Can you please guide? Sir, the best is find the opportunity within your organization. If you don't find any such opportunities, keep trying outside and definitely build a knowledge around it. Because if somebody is going to be, since you're into last mile, you are anyways dealing with the parcels. You understand the packaging part, the fulfillment part, basically. Okay, so last mile starts from the fulfillment. So once you pack your products, then it has to go out for the delivery. Okay, then all other coordination, the RTO, and a lot of other things as well, the reattempt and everything. Okay, but there is a definitely good possibility. Build a knowledge around inventory. Procurement is a very specialized. What I have observed. Okay, if you ask me, can I go and do a procurement for? So I'm mastered in jewelry segment, raw material of a jewelry and a finished jewelry products, and I'm good in pharmaceutical buying, not the raw material but the finished products. And so procurement is more specialized because you need to build strong knowledge around a specific product to be more efficient. I'm not saying currently I'm into tires. If I've been given a task to procure tires, definitely it may take me 4 or 5 or 6 months to understand the nitty gritties of tire industry. But as a procurement, I know okay how the process goes, how to really have a separate buying systems and everything. The anyways, I'm into demand planning, so I know I've been building the orders, I've been preparing orders and all. Procurement goes okay, this is how I'm going to place the order. If you have multiple suppliers, then you, as I was giving an example of my pharmaceutical, so i had I have a strategy for the procurement. I'm going to build a relationship, I'm going to negotiate on the prices, and I'm going to have a minimum order quantity to fill in my orders. Okay. So that's how things were planned. Guys, I need to take this call. Just putting you on hold. Just a second. Hello. Sorry, guys. Getting a call from my showroom only. So he was asking for some documents. So, okay. Now, next is insight on supply chain with AI. The question asked by Harshit. Harshit, AI part we'll try to add on at a later stage because first I want you to understand the basics. Definitely AI part, I am working on AI, not a problem. We can definitely plan either 2, 3 dedicated sessions for that, or we'll try to add within this after these major 4 sections are covered. Then we can take AI. AI is now a basic part of supply chain and operations. So, not to worry. I am already using AI. I am implementing AI now onto AI agentic models to build our own internal intelligence and all. That's what only I can share. And definitely we can have. I have a lot of cases, a lot of use cases, business situations, and all. We can definitely work on it. Okay. I was so engrossed in this entire, I forgot to have my coffee. Anyways, what is the first step for entering in supply chain management? Reek Datta asked the question. First step is what? Simply start applying for a job and get into a job. Get into any role, supply chain, be it inventory, be it warehouse, be it demand planning, be it forecasting, be it logistics. Okay. A lot of people feel that logistic is just about booking the trucks, booking the load and all. No, no. It's a very deep and very technical and very important part. Okay. There are truck sizes, there are charges for that, there are containers, there are shipment model, there are vessel situations, there are international routes, there are flight routes. Lot of things are there. Lot of things. Okay. And if you even there are people I have in my network who are only and only specialized in managing distribution centers in the courier domain, the logistic companies. Okay, what happens is, uh, let's suppose you send a courier to DTDC or XYZ company to ship it from Delhi to Mumbai. Okay, what happens is they bring in all the couriers at one place, then they filter them out. Okay, what are the zip codes? Okay, 1,000 for Bangalore, 1,000 for Kolkata, 1,000 for, they'll are separated, put into a single box, shipped to Mumbai, Bangalore, Kolkata, and Chandigarh. Now, in Chandigarh, then there is a sorting happening in the main center. That takes you to the different hubs, deliveries hubs. From there, again, the sorting happens. Then it is handed over to the individual person asking, okay, this particular area is yours, this particular pin code is yours, this particular pin code is yours. So that distribution happens. So understand, first they collated, then they started distributing it. There's a person who has been doing this for the past 32 years and he's master in that. And when I spoke to him for half an hour, I could not really think of any point that I heard of before. So it's deep. Similarly, you go to inventory, you go to logistics, you go to trucking, you go to export, the container segment. Everything is deep. Even if you get a chance to get into in the simplest of the part, you may start as okay, just do the container booking. Okay, trust me, it's a tough job. Booking containers is a tough job, specifically in current scenario wherein the logistic is completely disrupted because of the state of Hormuz and all this situation in the Middle East. Okay, on one side, either we are not getting the bookings, or if the bookings are there, vessels are heavy. They're saying, I cannot take the load because it's already overloaded. The charges are high. Now the game is, let's say charges are high. I'll share the real-time example. I used to get my medicines from Agra. Okay. And then we used to get it from bus. Okay. And so there was a strike going on. Some buses striking, the very limited buses were running. And then suddenly the prices went up from X to 2X to 2.5X. Now we are talking to other vendors, boss, could you please take at a cheaper price? We'll give you more business. That's the relationship part. We are negotiating because that is the money which we are paying extra to the logistic is eating up my margins. Understand this. Getting a product at a very cost effective price is the job of a logistic guy. If we lose money in the logistic, we are losing profit. It directly impacts the profitability of the company. Hence, the finance department is keeping an eye on it. Hence, you're doing a very important job. Understand this. Let's take an example. Okay. My own example of medicine, which I was telling you, buying from Agra and all. So there was this in medicine, X medicine. The price of buying locally, regardless of the quantity I'm buying, I used to get for $110, one strip of 10 tablets. And the distributor, I used to buy from distributor. I was more of a sub distributor kind of, because I used to sell online and to the rural market. So wherein the main distributor could not do the job. So understand, here's the logistic part. The main distributor sitting in the central part of Delhi could not serve a customer who was in the rural area, which is at least 50 kilometers from my city. Again, is 40 kilometers from my place. He is very well satisfied serving the 40-kilometer radius. Beyond that, customers were not really getting the products. I found an opportunity. I said, boss, I'll buy from you. I'll sell online and I'll sell offline to the customers who are sitting outside from here, at least 50 kilometers from here. What happened? I built that supply chain. I built that logistic part. I had my own vehicles, started delivering the products. Now, How I can, because what was happening? The main distributor said, sir, if you want in your city, I'll send by courier. That 110 strip will cost you 140 bucks. Fair enough. They used to buy. I went and I said, sir, if I give you at 130, will you buy from me? They said, yes. I put a condition, sir, instead of one strip, you need to buy at least 5 strips at a go. They said, we are happy. If we are getting 10 rupees cheaper, we are more than happy to, because it's a regular product. It's like a sugar. Sugar is a sellable product. No matter what, people will buy it. Same thing with that particular medicine. It's like a crocin, which we consume. It's a pet medicine I'm referring to. They said, we'll buy. So I have a 5 strip confirmed order if I give it at 130 bucks. Now my job is what? I'm buying at 110. I have 20 rupees margin in this. If I can manage my logistic cost to 5 rupees per strip, I'm making 15 rupees as a margin. But if my logistic cost is 20 rupees per strip, then I'm not making any money. I'm just doing a charity. At the end of the day, I'm having a labor cost. I'm having a risk attached to it. There's a cost, repair cost to my vehicle. So ultimately, I'm losing money. There's a depreciation going on. Okay. So what I started doing is, first, I ensured that if my most expensive purchase at 110 bucks is going to be sufficient enough for me to build an optimized logistic cost and then still make money, I used to make money. Then what I started doing is, okay, another thing which happened, looking at me, there's another competitor who started supplying at the same price. 130, used to buy at 110 because that's a standard market buying price from a distributor. Even my customer 50 kilometers from away knew that if I go to Delhi and buy it, I'll get it for 110. Nishant is charging 20 rupees extra because he's giving me the service. Right? Now, other challenge which happened is, the main distributor used to supply once a month. I used to supply once a week. So there's a frequency availability as well. If customer wants now, they're sure that, okay, max to max is 1 week waiting. Okay, so that's a difference. That's a value I added in the supply chain. Now, to compete with that new supplier within my region, what I had to do? I had to start buying at a cheaper price, because that's the only way. I can't increase my customer price because it's already 130. If I increase to 135, they'll say, Nishant, you go out. Now my job is to start buying. So understand me what I'm doing. I'm doing two things here. One, I optimize my logistic in such a way that I have more products to sell, so that my cost per product is less. I was ensuring that my vehicle capacity of at least 900 kgs in one go, at least 75% of the capacity is being fulfilled. Here is the logistic part. You have to do this calculation. It's a very strong number game. It's not just booking. You need to understand, okay, if I sell less than 75% of my capacity, I'll be losing money. So I ensured that. I built that procurement accordingly. So that's one part. Then I started buying cheaper. Now, you know how much I could bring down the cost? From 110 bucks, I could bring down the cost to 92 bucks, way cheaper than the distributor buying price in Delhi. That's the supply chain. That's the procurement part I got into now. I went outside my region, started talking to the biggest of the suppliers, gave them the quantity. This much I'll buy from you. This is the advanced PO I'm giving. This is a buying strategy now, procurement. Okay. I had to buy at a cheaper price. So 92 rupees used to be my cost of procurement of the product. Then the logistic cost of 1 rupee per strip from that place, to my warehouse. Okay. That 93 rupees cost, and I'm selling it 130 now. Understand the entire game. The challenge which I'm telling you, the moment I started buying at 92 rupees, I had one option to send my vehicle and bring it here. The entire margin was gone into the petrol and everything. Then I built a new logistic game. There are local buses which runs between city to city. So the source city I'm talking about is Agra. My city is Gurgaon. Okay. From Gurgaon to Agra to Gurgaon, there's a daily bus service going on. And these buses take parcels. Okay. So I started talking to them. I said, sir, can you please get me a few cartons? I'll give you per carton a fixed price. They agreed. So one carton coming at a cheaper price costing me 1 rupee per strip at the end of the day. That's how I reduced my entire thing. That's the logistic game I did. You understood the entire thing? Logistic and procurement strategies which I brought in really helped me to sell more because I had profit margins to make more money, and that became one of the top buying channels for me in my entire business cycle. So I hope it was very strong use case based example I gave you, but this is how you actually end up doing a role. This is what the addition you're doing. Now you understand that product wherein I was having a challenge became the top selling product for me and the top most profit contributing product for me, not just in the offline channel because I had a profit margin available. I could compete very well on Amazon as well. And it was a very profitable product for me. We used to get more than 200 orders a day online only for that product. Okay. Now, uh, where I was, yeah, well, a part ho gaya. Oh, so many questions. So Rahul, okay, there are a few more questions before that. This AI one done. What is the first step for entering supply chain? I told you. Sheikh Mohammed project. Okay, currently I'm in a project execution for the last 5 years. It is possible to move to SCM. Yes, sir. I hope I've given you the answer. Possibility is there. You need to build knowledge. You need to speak to people, and the moment you find any small opportunities, get into this. If you're really keen into that. I moved from a sales background, so I was working with Microsoft in their sales licensing part, and I wanted to move to completely a consulting role, and I could. I took a good cut. I built a knowledge. I convinced the hiring manager, and I performed well because I built knowledge. It's all knowledge which you have and the willpower you have. I could do that. Suyesh Saxena, how much trending planning tools like Kinaxis, OMP, O9 knowledge is important supply chain. I'm working on old software. See, Kinaxis, I have heard a lot of companies are using. Okay. I don't use any of these tools, to be honest. I use my Excel and I have been using Excel from the past 10, 12 years, and I'm very much comfortable over there. And I think definitely these tools are good because when you enter a larger organization where these tools are all already there, so they expect you to be learning good. Out of all these which you have mentioned, Kinaxis, which I've heard is being used pretty well. Other than that, I have not used. One other thing is the SAP, IBM, Integrated Business Planning. That tool is also being used. Okay. Now, Weber Pawar, what will be the chances of getting placed if I had done SAP EWM to change the domain? There are high chances. SAP is being used. SAP, I'm sure definitely in India it's pretty much good, but SAP is being used a lot in the Middle East. So if you are aiming, you have a plan to, or you can consider Middle East, then SAP definitely has a very good value over there. Rahul Sudem, what skills supply chain professional needs in the future to remain competitive? Sir, AI skills. Trust me. You need to have, okay, not just AI, there are two things connected to AI. You need to be good with data and start building skills on your AI. AI is not going to do job for you. AI is going to make your job easier. Reason I'll tell you. Let's say you are a supply chain head. You need to look at a lot of areas, and there are a lot of permutation combination goes between if any particular supply is delayed, what impact it is happening, and what's the workaround for that. For example, there is a product A. Let's say this is a wallet which is a highest selling wallet for you. Now, there's a concept called ABC analysis, which we do that we'll cover in the inventory part. Okay. So this is your A category product, which is giving you very good revenue and profitability. And you run it on a very optimized inventory, cut to cut inventory you have, you keep very little margin. Suddenly, this strike, this airstrike and all happened. Middle East, everything is blocked. Your shipment is delayed by 2 months. Months I'm talking about. You have an inventory on hand only for 15 days plus a backup of 7 days. 20 1 days of inventory is lying with you, what will you do for the rest of 39 days or 30 or 30 40 days rather, because I'm considering 2 months means 31 and 30 days, 61 days. You have inventory only for 21 days left, and it's a higher selling product for you. What will happen? Ideally, what should happen is you inform the business team, okay, there is a delay, you won't have this product after 21 days. What you to do? You find the second product and start promoting that product. Okay, you start promoting a third product, you start promoting a fourth product, so that the demand which we had for this product is shifted to the second best selling and third best selling products. Okay, because we don't want to lose a customer. As a supply chain guy, this is one of the most important skill which I want to have in all of you is don't think from individual perspective. I got the product, my job is done. The shipment is delayed, I'm running the vessel. I'm not controlling the vessel on waters. I'm not controlling the international borders. I placed the order, supplier shipped on time. Now it is, I have zero control, so it's not my responsibility. No, sir. Supply chain is one such job. If everything is going fine, nobody is gonna really be coming and saying thanks to you. No, because this is your job. The moment you have a disruption in supply chain, you have at least 100 guns on your head. That's the problem of the supply chain. But if you sail through this particular challenge and if you keep a business mindset wherein you are talking to a business head on a daily basis, boss, this is the supply situation, this is what is happening, this is what is available at a cheaper. Let's say this is my A selling product and my supplier says, sir, if you place an order for the next 6 months, don't take a delivery, but place an order for the next 6 months, book my entire capacity, I'll give you 10% discount. Wow, that's a good deal. I go back to a business guy saying, boss, this is my top selling product. We're already having an 18% gross profit. I can get you another 10% gross profit. Would you be interested in selling more? Oh, yes. Because business needs to show the profit. I am giving the profit to the business. That's where the value addition comes, and that's what the skill set is required. So the AI part definitely is going to make your job easy to really do this entire calculation in a real time. And then you need to understand and you need to be good with data. And third is this business sense. So my one request to all of you would be, if you want to build a career in supply chain and you're already working in a supply chain, think like a category manager. If you start thinking like a category manager, you will start thinking of a profitability. The moment you start thinking of a profitability, you are one good supply chain guy for a company, because you are not just doing your job, you're actually adding a value to the entire business. That's the game, right? So these are the skills are going to be very critical, because data anybody can do, booking anybody can do, but these are the additional things we should look at. Okay. And to be honest, when I interview people, when I talk to people, this is the mindset which is missing. They said, "Sir, why we need to look at from the profitability point of view? This is what is needed. You need to think that you're addition for the business." Okay. Now, Rajendra, you said finding new job or switching job in the industry is difficult. Yes, it's always, and it's always be, because I feel most of the jobs get filled through references. Yes, absolutely. So, are there any platforms which are genuine? That's a good question. See, I have got all my jobs from LinkedIn. Trust me. In my last 22 years, all my jobs, even when I was doing masters in New Zealand back in 2012, I got all the assignments, my job only from LinkedIn. Either I reached out to them or they reached out to me. So LinkedIn is good for me. All these other platforms never work for me, though I have used them extensively, but they never work for me. The final offer which I got initiated through LinkedIn only for me. So that's one. Definitely. References, the high-paying jobs are actually filled. So how many times you've seen people are hiring CEO by posting it on LinkedIn? No. A very big company, manufacturing company or distribution company or product-based company, they hire from a reference or they hire through headhunters, because they don't want to make it public that okay, they are replacing a CEO. That generally doesn't happen, right? Next question is from Bhargav. With 7 years of maintenance and operation experience, a full-time MBA, and current experience in logistic hub and gateway operations. Very nice. I'm looking to transition into core supply chain. Sir, you are already a part of supply chain. Definitely look for some other roles. Core supply chain, what do you mean by core supply chain? That's the biggest question which I keep asking everybody. Sir, every role, as I mentioned, in the entire supply chain ecosystem is important. Okay. Yes. If you feel okay, supply chain is about buying and maintaining inventory. Okay. That's also a very good area. So you need to move to them, to that part. Logistic is already one part. You are handling the maintenance of the. I'm assuming that it's a factory or a warehouse which you're doing a maintenance, and the operations which you're definitely managing for there only. It's a very good experience. Trust me. Uh, if you're into maintenance, I'm sure for maintenance there is a need of procuring and maintaining an inventory for the spare parts. So you're already into inventory management, you're already into procurement, you're already into supplier relationship management. So that's part. There's no need to say ki, okay, core supply chain is buying a finished products. No, sir. It's you're buying a product, be it because most of the time your final product could be a raw material for somebody else. If somebody's selling bolts or not bolts, for them it's a finished product. But for you, it's a consumable, not even a spare part. It's a consumable for you, right? So buying the process is process. I believe you're already in a very strong area, but yes, if you feel like you want to be into strategic area, it's a progressive thing. So you can't really get into entire strategic management of a supply chain on a very single day. So it's a long journey. If you get into manufacturing domain, it's a 20 years journey at least, because manufacturing is the biggest setup, and you need to manage one area, then other area, the third area, and somebody who's sitting at top, they have gone through all the areas and they understand what's happening, the impact of one into the other department and all. So everything has to be taken. So it's a good experience. I think you're already on a good path. Keep getting deeper into your exact area, and the moment you get an opportunity, I'm sure definitely you will have a good way to move it. The best is move within your organization because they know you and you know the process, you know the product, you know the system, so it's easy to move. Okay. Next is Hemant. I have experience in procurement and maintenance operations and pharma manufacturing industry. Currently, I'm looking for supply chain job roles. Which role are best in supply chain and logistic? So it all depends on you. I like buying. Okay. I like inventory. I like warehouse operations. I like uh, building product development, basically building housing. I like product development. Okay. Honestly speaking, I've not worked extensively into export operations, the vessels, the containers, and all. Okay. So I have less knowledge around that area. I don't have much of strong understanding on the nitty gritties of that, though I'm involved. But because as of now, I do the planning for container loading. So the stuffing of container, what product to go, in how much quantity to go, the capacity planning of the container and all. So I do that. But still, there are a lot of nitty gritties in that. So I'm not much experience into that. But since you're in pharma and manufacturing, it's one of my favorite industries, to be honest. If you want to get more exposure, then definitely you are into the internal side. You may go to the external side, which is about the distribution planning, the allocation planning, the warehouse management, the inventory management, and all. Probably this could be a right area. If you are really aiming to be supply chain head one day, then definitely gain exposure in all the areas so that you understand what's happening, and then you can take strategic decisions. That's a good progressive path I can offer you. Next question is Bhagav again. You asked a question: a demand planning, network design, sales, or procurement. Which role, skills, or certification would be best supporting this transition? Okay, your question was with 7 years of experience in maintenance and logistic hub gateway. You said. So demand planning is good because you're already into maintenance. You are already understanding what kind of raw material or consumables or spare parts are required. So demand planning is one by default role for you. Network designing is, if you get into procurement, network design definitely will be required. Sales is a separate domain altogether. Okay. Procurement, yes, since you're already into maintenance, managing the inventory, you can get into the procurement. So I believe demand planning and procurement, these are two things which definitely can help you deeper into this. I'm not sure if there is any specific demand planning or procurement. I think procurement there are certifications. I'm not sure about demand planning. Vikesh Singh, I want to switch from finance to supply chain operations. Do you have any expert opinion? Arey, sir, that's a very strong move. I'll tell you why. Finance has a very good role to play in the supply chain. This planning, because as a demand planner, let's say you work in a demand planning. Okay, demand planner has to work in line with the finance team, because you plan the demand, how much quantity to buy, from where to buy, how much money is going to transition phase, the supply chain, the working capital is blocked. Now you need to also manage and work with the CFO, the finance head, basically, how you're gonna have lesser cash to cash cycle, okay, and faster turnaround of your inventory, so that cash is blocked for a lesser period. Let's suppose you buy a product, okay, and you sell it after 1 year. So you bought in January, the entire stock till the December, saying, okay, sir, we should not fall into a situation wherein we have no product to sell, any supply disruption happens, fine. You can't have a buffer of 1 year, 365 days. It's a huge buffer, sir, huge buffer. So you are actually blocking, let's say this product is for $100 and you sell 10 pieces of product. So you're talking about 3,650 units to be sold in the entire year, and $100 means, so you're talking about 3 lakh rupees worth of 3.5 lakh or 4 lakh rupees, not 3.5 lakh, 3,000, 3.5 4 lakh rupees worth of inventory block. Wherein I come and I say, sir, hang on, I have a supplier who can give me this product on a 7-day notice. The lead time is 7 days only, okay, and I keep a buffer, I keep a fluctuation in a demand and all. So we should maintain maximum of 30 days of inventory, including buffer of 7 days. So 23 days of, or let's say 20 days of inventory, 7 days of my lead time, 3 days is a safety period for me. Sometimes supplier also takes a time. There's a weekend, there's a holiday, there's a strike, there's a problem, XYZ. 30 days of worth of inventory in the entire supply chain you have. Means 30 days of money is blocked, which is how many? 300 pieces into 100. What? $30,000. Who is more favorable? Me, who is offering just block only $30,000, or you, who is blocking 3.5 4 lakh rupees? Who's going to be interested? That's the point. So finance guys are very much involved with supply chain. So if you're all into finance, think of taking a role of inventory management. That's your good transition into the supply chain. Just hold on, guys. Yeah. Bhagav, okay, आपका question हो गया. Now, Vicky, I want to switch from finance. Okay, I've already answered this. Ankit Singh, scope of SCM in Middle East countries, huge. Middle East countries are the really supply chain hubs. Now, Sheikh Mufak, sorry, I'm really sorry. Sheikh, sir, your end is your handle ends with 3789. That's your answer I'm giving you. Sir, can you please hold this session on Couture channel only for 24 hours? On your channel only? Sir, there's no major I have shared about the SCM, but definitely you have time for Q&A. After every session, I'll have a Q&A session. Not to worry. Sir, I said I can't make it live. Reason, trust me. Reason is because they are not made as per the live. I'm talking without any script. Okay, I don't have any notes. If you attend my first batch and the second batch, you might find a difference, to be honest, because I'm not following any script. I'm speaking from my heart. I'm speaking from my experience. Okay, so not two videos on the same topic you find me talking on the same tone, same language, same words. They might be different. The core would be common. Don't worry. Okay. Now, it's a request. Okay, sir, can you, okay, again, things from you only. Sir, can you guide how to apply for SCM job in LinkedIn? Strategic way like you. Sir, I don't follow any strategy. I just find and I reach out to them. I reach out to people. I don't simply say easy apply. I don't simply apply on the link. I connect with the recruiter, or if I have somebody known in that particular company, I reach out to them and then I write to them, okay, this is your job, this is my skill set, and I'm applying for this job. Can you help me reach out to the right recruiter? That's one way. Can you just hold on for a second, guys? Sorry, guys. Again, call from a car dealer. He wants some OTP and all. I'm not giving. I'm with you, so I'm gonna be with you. LinkedIn. Okay, probably what I can do is I can take a separate session on the LinkedIn. That's what I can do. I hope that's fine with you guys. Okay. Sir, next is Abrara. ABRARA.B2108. Okay. Sir, I'm pursuing an MBA in logistics and supply chain management. Wonderful. I have a doubt regarding which domain has the most growth and better career opportunities in the future. Sir, if you're good at your job, you have a growth opportunities in every space, every area of supply chain management. If you feel like, okay, no, this is not a growth area in the supply chain, sir, you are mistaken. Trust me, for the first 4 or 5 years, you might be sitting and doing a data entry job, booking job, coordination job, but that's very important because that's where you understand the nitty-gritties and challenges of this entire domain. What a procurement intern do, or what a fresher who is into procurement, what they do? Okay, prepare a PO, send a PO. Have you received a PO confirmation? Okay, has the product been shipped or not? This is your job for the first 2 years. But do you understand how important that is once you really move to the next step? Because you understand the challenges of the entire process. You can guide your team, and that is what is needed. Sir, supply chain role is as similar to the hospitality management. If you are a hospitality management person, you actually have to do the floor cleaning. You have to do the mopping. They make you do every damn thing because that's how you learn the challenges and that's how you learn how to solve them. Supply chain is about a firefighting. You are in a battlefield every single day, sir. So when you talk about any specific area, supply chain has a growth opportunities. You need to be ready for that. You need to prepare yourself and you need to do a lot. As you are into MBA, I would say start spending time on AI tools because supply chain team shuffles around data. Supply chain team has to have a visibility in the entire supply system where my stock is stuffing, for how long I have a stock in the inventory. I don't sit in my warehouse. Okay, my warehouses are in US. We have warehouses in the east and west coast spread across the US, 3-4 warehouses. But I have entire visibility sitting here for how long I have a stock, how much of stock is coming in the next 1 week, how much of stock is coming in the next 4 weeks. Okay, and how much stock I need to place an order now so that I can get stock filled in the next 4 months. So I'll tell you one standard thing. Let's say we have a sales coming up. Okay, let's say Diwali we have a sales. That's an example I can take. Diwali is in period of October in India. We had to start planning with Amazon at least 6 months in advance. Can you imagine this? It doesn't mean that I'm sending my product to Amazon 6 months in advance. No, the planning has to happen. Okay, how much of product sales we're expecting? This much of sales we're expecting. Okay, fine. What is the supply standard I have? So during the Diwali phase period, even if it is a nutraceutical product, because there's a mentality of people that okay, there are going to be huge discounts going on, and we used to give a discount because Amazon used to partner with us. I need to ensure that I have a right supply for that. At least 5 to 6 times of the supply I had to make extra from a regular days. That's a spike I used to get in one demand. Okay, that forecasting we had to do 6 months in advance. And for that, everything has to start planning, because if I need 6 times extra product, and to go back and to look at the data and to go back to my suppliers asking, sir, I need these many stock by these months or weeks or days. Okay. I need to plan my finances then. Okay. Because I need to pay the supplier. And then I need to start planning my logistic, my inventory, because one, I need to look at inventory at my place, whether my warehouse has that much of space or not. At the same time, the space I have booked with Amazon, is it available or not? Because I have asked for the space from specific days. That is the planning I'm doing. So first I'm asking my supplier, ensuring okay by when he can supply to me, basis that I'm booking a space with Amazon, asking okay by this much particular date I would be sending 1 truck or 2 trucks. So you need to ensure that there is a space available. You already block it for me. Okay. But if they say, okay, fine, sir, you block it right away, I'm not going to do that, because I can't pay the rental for that. Sorry, I cannot ship my product right now. I need to plan. Then Amazon has to also do the planning. So I'm using Amazon. So this is not the real way. I'm just creating a story. There are certain things which I can't share. So I'm just creating this entire scenario. Fine. But this is the scenario happens in any company. So you have to plan everything. That happens with the data. You can't keep on rolling between the supplier place and your factories and your warehouses and other things. No. So you need to do this. So build your capabilities around AI, data analytics, and as I said, think like a category manager. You have a very bright future in supply chain. Oh, good. I like the questions. 7 years maintenance, this done. Which role support? I'm demand planning network. This done. Do you have any expert opinion? Okay, this is done. East country is done. 24 hours live session. Okay. MBA done. Okay, next is JOIS Thomas 7346. How to get into supply chain analyst role and what will be the growth? Like, huge. Look for Middle East. Supply chain analysts are very much in requirement over there. And as I said, AI. Start working on AI. So I think I should plan for a session in the AI, the reporting, the dashboards, and artifacts. I'll take. No worries. I'll plan. Then again, the question is from Harshit. How to become a category manager in SCM and some best courses or certificate. Sir, as a category manager, you can't become in supply chain. What I've been referring to as think like a category manager. Category manager is kind of a sub CEO of a specific product. Let's say I'm a category manager for wallets. So I need to think from a perspective how I'm going to make profit out of this entire category. From where to source products, the best supply chain, the less money stuck in the shorter cash to cash cycle, and higher demand. And if the demand is shifting from product X to product Y, how I change my entire strategy. If there's a supply chain disruption for a product A, how I shift it to product B. So that's a thought process of a category manager. You can't really become a category manager. I've not seen any particular role of a category manager in supply chain. But a category guy actually acts as a supply chain manager. Okay, so you need to look into that perspective. Since you're already to supply chain, think like a category manager, because category manager thinking adds the capability to think from a profitability perspective, from a sales perspective, from a customer perspective. If you're buying anything which is not required by the customer, there's no need for that. It's a waste for the company. It's a loss for the company. I hope you're getting my point. Okay. Next is, sir, I've done my MBA in SCM and I'm working as an assistant operations and inventory role, but due to medical conditions, I didn't work for the last 2 years. Is there any skill to upscale for me to do? I think start 2 years gap, I understand. It would be little tough. I won't say tough. It's a challenge because some recruiters, I'm not saying all, some recruiters consider a break as a problem. Some don't. So keep trying, but add AI. It will be a very additional thing which recruiters will see in your profile, and it would be very, I would say, it's going to be a really differentiator point in your role, in your profile. Okay, guys, fine. So I hope I have answered all the queries. If I have missed anybody's question, do write it right away. And oh, guys, 1 second. I spilled my coffee. Just a second. I'll be back. Sorry, guys. Yes. Any more questions? No more questions? Okay. So just concluding this entire thing, it's already 1.5 hours into the session. It's 1:22. So from next Saturday onwards, Saturday and Sunday, 12 to 2, gonna be the main time. But if there are queries, we'll definitely extend it. And we'll be covering those who joined late. I'll give you a bit of understanding about this overall 4 modules, starting from the basics, then the internal planning, internal readiness, then the external part, and then fourth section would be the strategic part. Okay, and as I have been getting queries around AI, I believe we'll either add AI part in between the practical things which we would be doing, or if not, then definitely at the later part of this, I'll plan for specific 2 or 3 sessions on AI part. Okay, and that's it. Q&A would always be a part of our sessions, every session, and as of now, all the sessions would be live. There won't be any recording available. They are not going to be uploaded on my this LinkedIn. LinkedIn. I'm saying the YouTube channel, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm sharing my LinkedIn profile once again. There I keep on sharing the openings from other recruiters. In either of the openings, not generally. I've never been the recruiter on those jobs, to be honest. So if you find any of the posting, this is purely for my network, and so you may read out the entire instructions of the original post and apply. Don't message me, sir, how can I apply, refer me, this, that. I won't be able to do it because these are not my openings. I don't know the people. If something landed up in my profile, I just reshare if I feel it's helpful for my community and for my network. Okay, I won't be able to accept your LinkedIn connect request because I'm already out of my connect request. Okay, there are hardly few are available, which I'm keeping as a backup, but you can follow me so that you can get all my updates. And I believe you guys have already followed me on my YouTube channel, so that when we start the next session, you get a notification whenever I post any video related to our thing. What I can do is probably for the job openings which I get in my LinkedIn, probably I can create a descriptive things for that. Okay, that's a good idea. That just popped up in my mind. I'll do that. So if anything pops up, I'll let you know, guys, in the community itself. That's the best way, because if you guys miss out on LinkedIn, if you're not that active on LinkedIn, then probably you can find that in the community. I'll share in that. Okay, for every session, there would be a new link of a live session that would be posted in the community group. Now, one last thing, if you feel that you have somebody in your network, you want to add them into this so that they can also attend, share the link of the community, let them a part of it. Now, if you are missing on any of the things, I understand it's a weekend, you have somebody is already working on weekend, there are people who have some other work, there's a festive season coming in. So this is not the last session I'm doing, last batch I'm running. I'll be running more batches on a regular basis. If you miss out on anything, you can join. If you just miss out on any concept or one session you missed out, you continued like 2 sessions and then you missed out 1 session, and say, no problem. You may stay during the Q&A session. You ask the questions. I will clear out this doubt. I'll clear out that particular information for you. Not to worry about that. Okay. Last thing, I won't be in a position to reply to any of the DMs which are coming to me. Any of the direct WhatsApp messages are coming to me. Reason being, I get at least 200 to 250 messages. At this moment, I have more than 200 unread messages because it's very tough for me. I'm a working professional. Okay, I work from Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sundays, I have this. And even today, I attend my own learning sessions. So I keep learning. Okay, in the evening, I'm studying something for my research project. So from 6 to 9, I'm studying there as well. And I have a lot of readings to do for my research thing. So that's the reason I really can't put focus on replying to DMs. This particular platform is created for that. You ask your questions, even if it is beyond 3 o'clock, I'll try to be there. We have 12 to 2 study session. Then extending it till 3 if there are Q&As. I can extend it by another half an hour if there are Q&As. I'm more than happy to answer your queries. All right, guys. Last question is there. Do you provide interview preparation for the course and notes? No, sir. I am not a recruiter. But I can actually invite recruiters for these things. That's a good point. So I'm making note of these two. AI part I'll cover add on. For this, I'll speak to some of the senior recruiters if I have in my network, or I'll try to find out, and I'll bring them onto this. We'll do a live Q&A with them, not a recorded session because that will not let you interact with them. But let's have a live Q&A so that you guys can interact with the recruiter or headhunter. They can give you a lot of perspective on that. I'm not an interview preparation. No, sorry. My camera just fell. I am not sure I'm really comfortable or not comfortable. I'm expert in interview prep questions. I used to do interview sessions long back, but I think the domain has changed. I would refrain from doing that, but definitely I'll share my experience of how I recruit people. My style of recruiting is pretty different from a standard. I don't really ask, tell me about yourself. I really don't ask, how do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't ask all of them. I don't ask about anything which is standard because I try to understand. That's how I've been recruiting in a different manner. But definitely, from the industry perspective, I try to bring in somebody. I hope that's fine with you guys. Okay. Any more questions, or shall we finish and this particular session? Any questions? No more questions. All right. I think I want to ask. I think we have less people. People have already left. No worries. We'll ask in the next one or in the community. All right, guys. I'll take a leave for you now. Thank you so much for attending. Next Saturday, which is going to be 5th of September, and then Sunday, 6th of September. So we'll have on Saturday and Sunday both 12 to 2. Right? So we'll cover all the points accordingly. All right, guys. I'm closing this. Thank you so much.